Hi and welcome to Rose Kitchen and Garden. Today is a special day. Today, 20 years ago, Samir and I met each other for the first time, and we clicked. There was a chemistry between us, which, thank God, to this day still exists. So I thought he should be rewarded for his bravery. In short, we should be celebrating today. So that's what we are doing. I am cooking lamb shanks, but I didn't want to cook it in a French way or what do you say, Moroccan way. I thought I should cook it in an Indian way because if I had to cook it in the French way, there would be wine, and the kids are also going to dine with us. So I have invited a couple of friends over to celebrate this special day with us. So how I made the lamb shank? I'm making lamb shank Rogan Josh. So what's gonna come next is how I made the lamb shank Rogan Josh. Hope you like this recipe and hope you'll try it out. Of course, it is made in my way. I always like to tweak things a bit. So it's made in my way. I hope you enjoy the recipe. If you do not forget to let me know in the comment section. See you. Bye. So let's get on with seeing what all we need. So this is 2 kgs lamb shank, and I have pre-marinated it with ginger paste. So it was around this much ginger, and we ground it with water, so it's like a watery slurry, and then we marinate this. Say, if the longer you keep it, the better it is, but I've kept it like for 10 minutes. I'm going to keep this. Then normally we use a bark to give the color to this Rogan Josh, but if you don't have that, beetroot works. So here I've steamed beetroot and I've tied this in a muslin cloth, and I'm going to leave it in this bowl, and I'll collect the juice in this. So this is like a small beetroot. Then let me start with onions. So if you've taken 2 kgs of lamb shank, this is around 750 to 800 grams of onion, which was 6 actually in number. Then I have hing here. Hing I'm going to need a pinch. I'm going to need 3-inch cinnamon stick. I will also need cloves. A lot of ingredients, so I've written them down so I don't miss out on the measurements. So these are 10 to 12 cloves. Then you will need some 8 to 10 black pepper. You will need black cardamom 8, and you will also need green cardamom 8. It's here. You will need green cardamom 8. Then you're going to need Kashmiri red chili powder. That's here. This will be around 2 tablespoons. Then we're going to need 3 tablespoons of fennel powder. This 3 tablespoon fennel powder. I'm going to cover it and keep so that the essential oils don't fly away. Then we will also need some ginger powder, which is 1 teaspoon ginger powder, or soont that we call. Then this is coriander powder, 3 teaspoons. Cumin powder is 2 tablespoons. So this is 2 tablespoons of cumin powder, and garam masala 2 teaspoons. Then we are also going to need 2 cups of beaten yogurt, and I will also add half cup tomato paste and 1 to 1.5 liter of water. Now traditionally in the Hindu Kashmiri Pandit households, in the Kashmiri Pandit household, they do not add any onion while cooking and tomato paste. But because I am making for friends here, and I kind of know their palate, and I also kids are going to eat it, and it should be a party favorite, so it should be catering to everybody's tastes and palates. So I'm going to add the onion and the tomato and the yogurt. Yogurt is traditionally added, but the onion and tomato is the addition that I'm going to do. Also, I'm forgetting one ingredient which I'll tell you about. Uh, it's ghee. Sorry, we need 5 tablespoons of ghee. You can cook it in oil, but it doesn't give you that flavor. So 5 tablespoons or 6 tablespoons of ghee is essential. This is patthar phool, a lychee. So you need 2 teaspoons of, if I'm not wrong, 2 teaspoons of this patthar phool. If you don't have it, you can skip it, but it's a nice flavor. Yes, so I was saying the taste, the flavor that comes with the addition of onion and tomato, it's a party favorite. So if you're cooking it for many people with different tastes and different palates, I think you should also add onion and tomato. So let's begin. Also, one more ingredient that I forgot to mention was saffron. So I've soaked some saffron in water and I've left it aside. So now I've put the pan on heat, and I'm going to add my ghee to it. So we'll add all of the ghee. It's okay if something remains because I need to add it later as well. So I'm going to keep some ghee, it's okay. So now once the pan is hot and we've added the ghee, we'll wait for the ghee to become a little hot. And then I will start adding all the spices one by one. So I'm going to add the cinnamon to this. Let me just see if I can cannot. Then I'm going to add the black pepper, black cardamom. Then let me add the green cardamom. Then I'm going to add the cloves. Then I'm going to add the black pepper. I increased a bit of black pepper. Then I'm going to add the patthar phool. There we go. Then I'm going to add my onions. And I'm going to fry this till the onions become nice and brown. So it will take obviously around 10 to 15 minutes. See the nice golden color this onion has got. I don't know if you can see how nice and golden it is. Sorry. Yeah. And then now we're going to add the lamb in it, and then we'll sear it nicely. So let me put the camera back and show you how. Okay. Let's add these lamb pieces along with its ginger marinade. And this step is called searing. So I'm going to sear the lamb. So it has to get brown, little brown from all sides. Oops, it's going to be a little hard. Okay. So I will show you the process once I settle with this. I realized I need tongs for this. It's easier with the tongs. So make sure all the lamb pieces touch the bottom of the pan regularly. So you have to like really make sure everything touches the bottom of the pan from time to time. What searing does, I think I've said this before, it locks all the flavors. It caramelizes things from the outside and it locks all the juices inside. So yeah, I'm going to keep turning it till everything gets like a nice brown color. Now you see the parts which are at the bottom, they're raw, so I've turned them, and when I turn them, then you see the browning that happens. So this we have to do. This process is called searing. Keep rotating. As my pan is small, if you've got a bigger pot, then I think everything can be cooked at the same time. Now it's the time we need to add some hing, say like 1 teaspoon, and then give it a nice stir. So I'm going to add 1 teaspoon hing here. Yeah, and I'm going to give it a nice stir. So I've changed the pot here because that was slightly small and I couldn't sear everything nicely. So I've added hing, as you've seen, 1 teaspoon, and we are going to again cook it nicely for some time. After we add hing, we are going to add some salt. So add salt as per your taste. or around maybe 1.5 tablespoons. And again, after you add salt, give it a nice mix. Now one by one we are going to start adding all the powders. First I'll start with the Kashmiri red chili powder. This is obviously for color. Mix it well. Then we'll add the coriander powder, cumin powder, the dry ginger powder, soon that is called, and the fennel powder. Mix it nicely and cover and cook it for 5 minutes. The mutton was under cover, like it was cooking under cover. It was cooking covered for 5 minutes. Oh my god. And now I'm going to add the tomato paste to this along with little bit of garam masala. And again after this I will give it a nice stir and cook and cover it for 5 minutes. So let me add some garam masala also. And once it's nicely mixed, then I'll cover it and cook for 5 minutes and then add saffron water to it. Okay. So let me give it a nice mix. I'll add the saffron water to this. Also the saffron. And I'll give it a mix. Before actually giving it a mix, because it's so hard to mix because these are shanks. Let me also tell you that we're going to add yogurt, beaten yogurt, little by little, because I don't want the yogurt to tear. Okay, so let me add some yogurt first and give it a mix again, and then add the remaining yogurt. So here I'm mixing. You might also have to use the tongs because it's difficult with the spoon. And now that yogurt is settled in, we'll add our remaining yogurt. The yogurt is mixed nicely. I am going to cover it again and let it cook and release some water before I add any more water from the top. So now at this stage the mutton needs to release its water, and along with the yogurt water it has to start cooking and getting soft. Now you see the mutton is left water, and also the yogurt has left its water. So, and it's cooked for some time. It's been cooking for some time. Now I'll add some water to this. Now this water will only be so that your mutton can cook properly, right? So I'm adding, I think this is around 1.5 cup of water. So I'll add this water nicely and let the mutton cook slowly till it falls off the bone. In another pan, I've taken some ghee, and this should be around 2 to 3 teaspoons, and I'm gonna heat it. So it's been on the gas flame for some time. Now it's hot. Now I am going to add this to the beetroot with muslin. So all the color and the flavor of the beetroot comes out in this oil, and this oil will be used later for the tadka. Okay. So now the water has almost evaporated. You can see the curry is becoming a little more thicker and masaledar. At this point, you remember the ghee and the beetroot juice we had made. So we are going to add that to this. It has a natural red color actually, thanks to the nice Kashmiri red chili powder that I used. We don't need this, but just to give it even more denser Rogan Josh color, let me add this beetroot juice and along with the ghee and cook it for some more time. Now the mutton is nicely cooked and it is separating from the bone. if you see here. But you can cook it till the kind of consistency you want. But I think I am done here. So this is it. This is our lamb shank Rogan Josh. Hope you liked it.